Reverends Glenn Ganaway and Yolanda Mapes are here with us. I just have,
All
I just have
Welcome to the Mighty Companions. I'm Reverend Glenn Morton Ganaway, your favorite anarchist preacher and integral mentor, and I'm here with the love of my life, the Reverend Yolanda.
I am Reverend Yolanda, singer-songwriter, trans-femme, genderqueer, interfaith minister.
I know, all in one breath, ladies and gentlemen.
And you have walked into our online version of what we used to do in the clubs here when we could do things live, and we call it Church with a Two-Drink Minimum. So
I hope you've got your drink out, because this is a two-drink show. It's a two-drink show, all right? So your waiters and waitresses will be coming around to get your order. Tip well. Tip generously.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Church with a Two-Drink Minimum.
All right. Everybody ready? We're going to swing and hang with us. I'll show you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the Church with Two-Drink Minimum. Welcome to the Church with Two-Drink Minimum. We are interfaith, interspiritual, God optional. So relax and get ready for a celebration. Welcome to the Church with a Two-Drink Minimum. One more time now. Welcome to the Church with a Two-Drink Minimum. Everybody, come up to the name human.
All my wee doggies today.
Well, I'm doing just fine, thank you. And I dressed in a wee doggy appropriate outfit today. This
She
is my
did.
little cowgirl outfit.
I know.
if you
Doesn't
can't-
she look like your third grade teacher? Looks like Mrs. Mapes said I could go to the bathroom. Can I go to the bathroom?
Well, I'm actually wearing this in honor of Patsy Cline, who came to mind to me today. One of my favorite.
Is it her birthday?
Well, I saw somebody post that it was, if she was still with us, it would have been her 88th birthday. So I thought about that, and Patsy is somebody that I love. She's a honky-tonk angel, and she's looking out over us. So here we are, Church with a Two-Drink Minimum, coming live to you from Brooklyn. And we have so much to share with you today.
I know. I'm back at work for one thing.
Yeah.
How about that? I got
know.
unfurloughed this week, and I now am back at work.
Yes.
And so this
That's
is
very
my
helpful.
this is my I lost my COVID beard. Do you remember my COVID beard? It was getting like down to here. You know, I was starting to look a little bit more like Santa Claus.
Yes.
So preparing for my gigs. And I still got the COVID weight, but I'll be back walking 20 blocks to work and back. And I got the first haircut I've had in 6 months.
So
6 months. Can you believe that I love barbershops, so it was really weird to be in a barbershop where everybody is like all masked up.
Yeah.
The barber's masked up. I was masked up. And just like, and this is, no, we're not doing shaving, because you have to take your mask off. They won't do shaving or beards or stuff like that for you.
So they'll just do your hair.
They'll just do your hair in this barbershop. I mean,
I haven't even been back. So under here is about down to here of my natural hair. I've been growing it out. And I don't have the courage yet to show it all to you. But at some point I will. But I need to go to the stylist and get it worked on a little bit. But, it's just interesting how we grow and change and develop in this time. And, it's, I'm coming to the understanding of how important community is.
Yeah.
And how
more than ever.
And I'm so glad to come into this renewed awareness. I'm so glad that we have the opportunity today to come to the morning gathering at Awakening together. It was really lovely, and we're going to make that a priority. And so I invite you, Lena, and other callers that are on are listening to us to do that too. It was really refreshing, really helpful. And so it's lovely to know how intimate we can connect in this online space. And so I really
proving that
thank
we're
you for
all
that.
one.
Yeah, proving
That,
that we're
you know,
all one.
that proximity doesn't have anything to do with oneness.
Yeah,
Does it?
and
You
so
know?
I'm really thrilled about that. And I'm thrilled about A Course in Miracles today. I'm thrilled about what we're going to share. It's one of our favorites, Glenn's specialty, the laws of chaos.
Laws of chaos.
Which I think is really interesting because, so when we presented on Wednesday, some people were put off by the title, I don't want any more chaos in my life. But when we get into what the lesson actually says, she actually says, this is merely about looking at what's in your way, and just the mere looking at it, you know, dissolves it. So it's interesting when we resist looking
You
at.
can't change what you can't see.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So on that note,
yeah.
a little bit of retro. This is something I used to do a lot of. I used to
really
read
like
the introduction. You remember when I used to read the introduction?
Yes.
We're going to read this again because I'm going to pull up a little bit more of the text this time. And we've started going back to reading the lessons of the day because they're so important as well. So I want to remind you a little bit about how A Course in Miracles tells us to use it.
Okay,
right?
cool.
And how it lets us off the hook for how we feel about it.
Cool,
right?
cool. I also want to sing our opening song.
Oh, that's right.
Let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. So let things be exactly as they are. And you and me will live in peace. I don't know what anything is for unless I listen to that still small voice telling me this simple truth, that everything is for my good. So let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. So let things be exactly as they are. And you and me will live in peace. I'm not this body that you see. I am as God created me, and we are all one family, and it's possible to live in peace. So let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. So let things be exactly as they are. And you and me will live in peace. Let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. So let things be exactly as they are. And you and me will live in peace. Let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. So let things be exactly as they are. please. Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya moment. You know, I have that kumbaya moment in every single time all my wee doggies.
Oh no.
So,
love that.
The Course in Miracles has an introduction that I think is really important, where I think she just lays out the book.
She does.
She really does. She lays
It's
out the
so
book.
powerful. This little prayer at the end of it.
Yeah. This is the Course in Miracles. I'm quoting.
Meaning life.
Yeah. This. She never says that. You open the book and it says, "This is a Course in Miracles." And you're like, wow. Okay. This is the Course in Miracles. It's a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. The course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. That's the paradigm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, paradox. I mean,
Paradox, yeah.
so this course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way.
You
And we
say it, you call and I'll respond this time.
So if you'll say this with me, it gets so we can get into our skulls, get into our minds and hearts. So maybe it'll pop up when you need it.
Yeah.
Nothing real can be threatened.
Nothing real can be threatened.
Nothing unreal exists.
Nothing unreal exists.
Herein lies the peace of God.
Herein lies the peace of God.
So,
now that is a lot to chew on.
I know. And and she goes on for 669 pages explaining what she means by those three words.
Yeah, and when you think of the context of, so and today your lesson is the laws of chaos, and when you think of in context of what all is going on, fires and riots and protests and human consciousness shifting and like major upheaval
and dropping away. A lot of people are letting go.
A lot of people are letting go. And these words, nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So what is real?
The peace of God.
Yeah, the peace of God. Ooh,
I know.
That's a good one for sure. Let's read today's lesson.
Oh, you think so? All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this.
Okay. Oh, I was having such fun with this when I found this out this morning. So today's lesson is lesson 256. God is the only goal I have today. Wow. The way to God is through forgiveness here. There is no other way. If sin had not been cherished by the mind, what need would there have been to find the way to where you are? Who would still be uncertain? Who could be unsure of who he is? And who would yet remain asleep in heavy clouds of doubt about the holiness of him whose God created sinless? Right. That's us, created sinless.
Him who.
Yeah, him who. Here we can but dream. Here we can but dream. But we can dream. We have forgiven him in whom all sin remains impossible. And it is this we choose to dream today. God is our goal. Forgiveness is the means by which our minds return to God.
Awareness of the presence of love.
Yeah, return to love at last. Return to love. Return to love, yeah. And so, our Father, we would come to you in your appointed way. We have no goal except to hear your voice and find the way your sacred word has pointed out to us. And so
to find the way. We have no goal but to find the way.
Yeah. And blessed be, and so it is. So, with all of that in mind, I like to do our little thing that I call the circle of love, with our deep breaths and oming, yeah. And I'm thinking today that as we go into our circle of love, I'm going to give us a little space in there to actually name something we don't like and bring it into the circle and sit with that for a second. And then to actually name something we do like and close the circle out that way. Because I think it's important to name.
I know.
I do.
Bring it into conscious awareness.
Yeah.
To be aware of what is blocking our unity.
Right. And so.
Me too.
Me too. I heard you this morning. Oh goodness. Okay. And then after we sit in the silence, after
Play a
naming,
song for
we'll
you.
play a song for you. So here we go. Let's take 3 deep breaths on the bells. Yes, Don. Yes, I hear you. Okay, here we go. Right here, right now, in this Awakening Together sanctuary at Church with a 2-drink minimum, with all of our mighty companions in the room and those that are listening and those that are here in spirit but cannot make it today, we are consciously co-creating a circle of love. And in this circle of love, we include everything that we like and everything that we don't like. In this circle of love, we acknowledge that the land that we occupy was once occupied by the great indigenous peoples of the Americas, and where we personally sit in Brooklyn, the peoples that lived here originally are called the Lenape. In this circle of love, we acknowledge that Black lives matter and Black trans lives matter. And in this circle of love, we consciously know that human consciousness is changing, and that the events that we are going through now are the particular events that we need to go through in order to see that change happen. And so with that knowledge and with the understanding that everything that we like and everything that we do not like is included in this circle of love, I want to give us just a moment to name and to bring into this circle of love one thing that we do not like. Ignorance. We learn about ourselves from what we do not like. We learn to move through and to celebrate everything that we do like. So let's take one moment to name and bring into the circle something that we do like. And with the knowledge that we learn both from that which we like and that which we do not like, we know that we are living in that love and in that light. Blessed be.
Oh, how about us singing about love and light with a cover charge and a 2-drink?
I'm living in love and light. Yes, I am. I'm living I'm living in the truth that love has healed my life, because I'm talking about, yes, I am talking about, I'm talking about love. I'm living in love and light. Yes, I am. Well, I'm living in the truth that love has healed my life, because I'm talking about, yes, I'm talking about, I'm talking about love, love and light. I'm just gonna preach a little now. I know how it is every now and then. You just get out there in the world and you feel like you're all alone. But let me tell you something. There's nothing to fear, because you are not alone. Just look deep inside yourself. Are you breathing? I ask you, are you breathing? Okay then, God is with you. There's nothing to fear. Just step out that door and walk into the world, and you're living in the truth that love has healed your life, because I'm talking about, yes, I'm talking about, I'm talking about love.
Oh, I'm glad you like. Hey, Connie. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Arizona.
She got a haircut. You know, she got her hair redid from the last time. That's from actually your Mac award-winning show.
Yeah, so that's how all this started. How all of this started. And so I took little clips from the original show and pulled a whole bunch of things together, because, and it, for me, I wanted to share that to you today because I was really emphasizing, I think, in that video, things that I like about myself and things I don't like about myself, and things that I want to share with you, and sometimes I want to hide, and some things I want to reveal. Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Lena. I'm getting now to where I'm feeling very vulnerable, and I'm seeing that I'm changing in ways that I don't quite understand yet. And so I'm writing on this place where I want you to know me, but yet I'm still a little scared of going deeper. And so it's it ties in with Glenn's talk about the laws of chaos, because there are things that I still believe, you know, that are true, that are not true, of course, you know, as we move along. So let's turn it over to Glenn.
Okay, this is one of my favorite things to do. Yolanda and I get asked to do retreats, and I also teach meditation. I'm a certified meditation teacher, and I'm a certified facilitator, and all these things. And I got this really rare philosophy degree, and I'm ordained, and all this kind of crazy stuff. So I get asked to.
You're smart.
I am, and it's not always a good thing. Being smart doesn't get you any additional points, you know. So I've often taught this as how relationships fail. These are the reasons why our relationships don't fail, or reason why our relationships fail, or they're unhealthy.
Okay.
And these are the characteristics of an unhealthy relationship, the characteristics of an unhealthy society, right? And the characteristics and foundations, I believe, and maybe you can test these out for yourself, of a fundamentally dysfunctional society. When a society is built on these ideas. So I've given you some, I think I'm going to give you some clever ways of remembering these so you can see them in your life when you experience them. See if this works for you. Okay. This is all contained in chapter 23, and it's no accident that she calls this the war against yourself. Because who are you? Everything. One. You know, you are the community. You're holy, and you see holiness everywhere, right? That's what the goal we're trying to work at. You're not seeing difference. You're seeing yourself in all things, right? Like Adyashanti said, I'm the only one here.
Yeah.
You know, the only one here.
Right.
And like I say, it's me all the way down. You know. So she calls this the laws of chaos, and there are 5, just like a pentagon, just like one of the oldest symbols in the world for human beings is a 5-pointed thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got a head, arms, 2 arms, and 2 legs. 5. Right. And it's also the number for 5 is the number of chaos.
Yeah, it is.
In numerology, and I'm a numerologically a 5.
Yeah.
So this is really like in my wheelhouse,
right?
As you might say. So she begins. The scribe begins in this way. She says, the laws, and she uses them in quotes because these aren't laws.
Right.
They're only laws of God, right? These are laws. So the laws of chaos can be brought to light, though never understood. I know. Remember that part? It goes, never try to understand insanity. Yeah. Don't spend your mind trying to understand insanity.
Right.
She builds on this idea in this lesson, in this whole chapter, as a matter of fact. The chaotic laws are hardly meaningful, and therefore out of reason's sphere.
Right.
Yet they appear to be an obstacle to reason and to truth. Let us then look upon them calmly. Can you look upon chaos calmly? Wow. Let us then look upon them calmly, that we may look beyond them.
Right.
Understanding what they are, not what they would maintain.
Right.
Because we're talking about causes have effects.
Right.
Effects have causes, however we want to think about it. It is essential to be understood that there are what they are for. It is essential to be understood what they are for, what these laws of chaos are for, because it is their purpose to make meaningless and to attack the truth, or what is real.
Right.
So this is my favorite part in this opening paragraph. She says, "These are," you see this in big booming voices in your favorite Marvel comic voice, say, "These are the laws that rule the world you made, and yet they govern nothing, and need not be broken, merely looked upon and gone beyond." I love the alliteration there.
I know, and that's the real beauty of this, merely looked upon and gone beyond.
We don't have to wrestle them to the ground, right?
So what are they?
Oh, I know. Okay, we're gonna share
the picture.
I'm gonna see if I can share this picture with you. It's fun. So
Hi,
This is,
George.
this is,
I just
this
now
is,
seen
this is
George.
the first law. This is the first law of chaos. Okay, the first law of chaos.
Okay.
Can y'all see
Sure,
that?
sure.
Okay. It's good to be the king. It is good to be the king. Okay, this is the
especially
idea.
if you're in that movie, right?
Yeah, well, I know. You know where that scene comes from? He sticks his head in her cleavage and goes, and breaks the fourth wall to the camera and goes, "It's good to be the king," right? So that is because the rules are different. He's the king. He can do whatever he wants. You can't do that. He can do that. So this idea is that the truth works differently for different people. Right? That God, you know, that the world and the rules that God made and truth works for me in one way and works for you in a different way. Like it's easier for you because you're smart, or it's easier for you because you're a girl, or it's easier for you because you're big and strong, or it's easier for you because you have a gift for languages, or whatever it is. You know, whatever this thing we think that it's better to be somebody else, or that somebody else has got it better, or somebody else has got it worse, or somebody else is, you know, it's good to have empathy for others. We want empathy for ourselves. That's not really what this is talking about. This is talking about the belief that I can't apply that when I do the right thing, bad things happen. Have you ever really goes, well, that works for you, but it doesn't work for me. You know, you ever heard anybody who says, well, that's my truth. That might not be your truth, but that's my truth. And it's like, there aren't two truths. There just aren't two truths, you know? Because, well, I think the world is flat, so therefore that's a completely valid idea that can stand on its own against, you know, the world is round. Those aren't equal ideas. One of them is incorrect. So they aren't, the truth, just because, and think about how many people believed that the world was flat.
Oh gosh, isn't that interesting?
Right? It didn't make the world flat. No matter how many people believed it, it didn't make the world flat, ever.
Wow.
So the truth is the truth, and one of my other favorite quotes in Course in Miracles is,
True.
the truth is true.
Right.
Right? The truth is true. There's people that still believe it. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. No, we still have flat earth people, but it's never going to make it true. You know, you're broken. I'm not. You know, I have this trauma that happened to me, so therefore I can't have what I want.
Exactly.
You can have what you want because you didn't have the students suffer the same traumas that I have.
Right.
You know, I'm way more damaged than you.
Yeah.
You know, the Olympics, right? The oppression Olympics. You know, you ever getting involved in like a competition about who has it worse? Oh, well, yeah, well, this happened to me. You know, all these excuses for why we can't do what we want because, or that you have it better, or that this comparison we do with each other, you know, just naturally, you know, when somebody has a talent we envy, we say, you know, well, you know, I don't want to, and for the really waking up means I don't want to be anybody else, right? And I want to work with what works. I'm so happy it works for you. I want it to work for me. Show me how this works for you, so that teach me how this works for you, how you see
surgery is worse than yours.
Yeah, my surgery is worse than yours. Oh, I know.
That's a good.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, God.
I know. So think about that. It's good to be the king. Well, the best example might be in my relationship workshops is, have you ever been in a relationship where there were rules for you that didn't apply to the other person? Like, you may never speak of that woman again in my presence, you know? Or like all of your relationships, past relationships in history is like off the table, but they get to talk about everybody that they've ever done, right? You ever been in that? You ever been in that situation?
I haven't quite been in that particular situation, but I get your meaning.
You know, that's a real tell in a relationship where there are different rules that there's rules for you that you have to abide and rules that me and I have to abide, and they're different. And it shows a power imbalance, and we're going to talk about that.
Is there a next?
There's another law of chaos.
Have you shared that one?
Not yet.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get it pulled up here.
Okay. The second law of chaos. I'm bad and I deserve to be punished.
Right?
I love what you've underlined here. the second law of chaos, dear indeed to every worshiper of sin, is that each one must sin and therefore deserves attack and death.
I know.
Wow. Demands punishment.
I know. You're broken and you have to pay for it. You know, you're fundamentally broken. You did the bad thing. You did the wrong thing. We saw what you did. You said the bad thing. You did the wrong thing. You were ignorant and you need to be punished forever. You need you've got, and this is the way our law works. You know, I've talked about this before. We don't, you make somebody responsible for the worst day of their life and you punish them every day for the rest of their life, for the worst day in their life when they made that awful, awful, awful decision. You know, so think about all the ways in which we set ourselves up to fail. Think about all the ways in which these are rules of chaos, right? So keeping up a chaos world means keep undermining your own safety, undermining your own well-being, undermining your own friendships, undermining your own self-care. I don't deserve it. I can't be happy. I'm fundamentally broken. You know, that's what sin is. Sin is the idea that you can break reality, right? That you can fundamentally. He goes, and now you're gonna get it. You know, those are just the rules. Sorry, you know, you're gonna get hit. You have to pay for it. I don't know about you. I grew up in the South. This may not apply to you, but if you were like, let's say you cussed, and then you stubbed your toe, there would be somebody to say, "See, God got you." You know, were you raised like that?
Wow. Well.
You know?
I was. I don't know if anybody else was.
But that, you know,
that's
but
deep
that's
South.
the idea. It might be, you know,
that's Alabama
Southern
South.
Baptist. So,
Southern Baptist
so
South.
think about the ways in which ignorance doesn't mean you look for, finding ignorance in ourselves means that we can look for a correction. And we want to be corrected, then we get it right. And when you know better, you do better. You go, oh, wow. I didn't even see that. I didn't even know I was misgendering you. Or I didn't even know that I was. Oh, I didn't even see my own internalized racism, internalized homophobia. Oh my God! You know, thank you for pointing that out to me. And then you change, right? You don't spend all this time like, oh my God, I'm a bad person. I'm, you know, all this stuff. And it's like, no. Crawl. I understand the feeling. I really get it. Have your guilty moment. Have your moment of shame and stuff, and then get over it. And then say, oh, wow, then I don't have to do that anymore. What a gift you're giving me. You're giving me an opportunity for correction. Correction versus sin. Sin has to be paid for, man. Somebody's got to be nailed up on a cross. They got to cut him open. They got to throw him in a tomb. They got to stick him in there for 3 days. He wakes up, oh, where am I? You know, what happened? Don't touch me. You know,
wow, he's being irreverent.
No, think about that.
Think
about the way. I mean, that is just incarceral salvation is how a lot of us were raised. You have to do this. God died for your. You know.
Yeah, that's.
God sent His only begotten Son, and they killed him. You know, and you better appreciate that, or God's going to torture you forever. You know, so who's the real enemy? So we're living in that. We're living in it completely unexamined. And it's the idea that we're fundamentally broken. Original sin is this idea. We're just you were raised right.
Oh God. Woo.
So what's the first law of chaos?
It's good to be the king.
It's good to be the king. What's the second law of chaos?
You deserve to be punished.
I'm bad. I deserve to be punished, or I'm broken. Right? So I'm going to help you remember these things. It's good to be the king. I'm broken.
Deserve to be punished. Okay.
These are things that the foundations of why our lives are in chaos. The foundational structure of why things go down badly. Why things go badly. Okay. Second.
What's the
third law of chaos?
Third. Okay. The third law of chaos. Pick me, pick me. Okay, I don't think I quite understand.
Okay.
But
the fear of God is reinforced by this third principle now. It becomes impossible to turn away from your help
turn to Him for
help
in
for your
misery.
misery.
Oh, I see.
Right.
For now, God becomes the
vengeance.
enemy. God becomes the enemy because we think God is gonna visit
Right.
vengeance.
I've often called this God is mad at me,
Right.
but the fundamental, like where it springs from, is the approval of authority, the approval of somebody with power over you. Right? God is the ultimate example of this. And you need to please God or do things the way God needs you to do it, or you're going to get punished. Right? You need to have, if you wear your dress, if you have show your knees, if you don't dress right, if you will leave the house with your skirt too short, right? Or your hair's too, if your hair's too long, all these ways in which you're not, when you curse Jesus Christ, do you know that when you curse Jesus Christ, you have this this desire to please some outward authority. Now, that authority can be our ego. That authority can be totally within ourselves, but it's giving your will over to an imaginary thing, a boss, a job, a relationship. It's giving your power away to whatever you conceive of as an authority over you. It could be, a minister. It could be lots of different things. What she's trying to get at, what she's trying to get at here is you're the authority. God rests in you. Truth rests in you. You know who you are. You're reliable and trustworthy. You are the container of beauty and love and joy and truth. There's something, find that within you. Do not look for the approval of doing it right so somebody else. Now, there's the guru thing here as well, where a guru will, a false guru will keep you coming back, right? For your hit of their grace or their hit of your thing. They don't want to grow you up, so you put down their teachings and go live a wonderful life, in the Garden of Eden. They need you to keep coming back. They need you to be in authority. They need to keep approving of you, need to keep you tethered to them. That's the reverse of that. So the third law of chaos is pick me.
Wanting to be approved by
because
authority.
You want to be approved by somebody else. You want to be approved by God. And those people cannot be relied on to help you. They can only be relied on to judge you, because you're always pleasing them, right? They cannot, and it's always revenge. If you leave the cult, don't leave the cult. Don't leave the cult of whatever, system paradigm, there's hell to pay when you leave. I had hell to pay when I left when I left the church. Came out and left, I don't know, the church left me or I left the church. I don't know.
When you came out, and
when I came out.
Me too.
Yeah. So there's anger and retribution and vengeance, right? Because it's a betrayal. So the third law of chaos is pick me. What's the first law of chaos?
It's good
to be the king. I know. The second law of chaos. I'm bad and I deserve to be. I'm broken. Yeah. And the third law of chaos. Pick me. Authority. Giving your will over to. Okay. Fourth law of chaos.
I'm moving beyond these, just to let y'all know.
See, if you can recognize them, you can move beyond them.
I allow myself to move beyond. Okay. The fourth law of chaos. Competition is real. I love this, what you underline. The ego values only what it takes. This seeming law is to believe you have what you have taken.
Right. Because somebody has my innocence. Somebody has my, dignity. Somebody has my love. Somebody has my job. Somebody has my relationship. Somebody has my house. Somebody else.
Right.
Somebody has my health. It's not true.
Right.
You're irreplaceable.
Yes.
Right. Nobody is in competition with you. God loves us all equally. That's why she's so powerful. That's why we're so powerful, because power is horizontal. Right? God power shares. She's in each and every one of us as us. Right? So there is no competition. We don't have to earn the love of God. Right. I don't have to earn your love. I don't have to earn your respect. Either you give it or I don't. Either I am respectful or I am not. So this idea of competition is really insidious in our culture. What if we work together to build a healthy workplace, or to build a wonderful product, or to, you know, I'm not saying that there are different levels of responsibility. You know, I need this person needs to take responsibility here, this person needs to take responsibility here, but that's not competition. That is working together, spheres of influence. Whole systems don't compete. The fox in the field doesn't go kill all the other foxes, so all the mice are his. That's not how the world works. It's just not. So there is no competition. There's no competition for your job. There's no competition for love in your life. There's no competition. You know how to be you if you'll find out what that is. That's what the Course in Miracles. This is a Course in Miracles. It is a required course. The time you take it is, you know, free will doesn't mean you get to choose the curriculum.
Nothing real can be threatened.
I know.
Nothing unreal exists.
You're real. What is real in you? What is eternal? How do we identify with what is eternal with us? There's no competition. Healthy competition in a baseball game or something like that is at a completely different level. That is actually skills building, right? You want to play against somebody. You have to, if you're a tennis player, you have to play against another tennis player in order to get better, because there's no machines that's going to help you do that. That's how you get better at baseball. That's how you get better at anything. But it's not competition, because our lives aren't comparable. Our lives aren't comparable to lives. They just aren't. Life is, and it's all sacred. It's all holy, or none of it's holy, in my opinion. You know, but put this aside. This is, you know, we're going to be nice and cool and collected over here on Sunday between 8 and 9, 8 in the morning and 9 at night, you know. But so that's the third. That's the fourth law of chaos. It's hard. This is the one that's the most difficult to get at, I think, for Americans, is that
we're built on competition.
We're built on that competition is competition. The law of competition is real, is chaos. Right. You build things on, you have to fight your way for everything, and you've created chaos. If you have to fight for everything, earn everything, pay your dues for everything, you're already screwed. All right. So, first law of chaos.
It's good to be the king.
It's good to be the king. Second law of chaos.
God's mad at me.
I'm bad. I need to be punished. Third law of chaos.
Authority. Something about
pick
authority.
Pick me.
Oh.
Pick me. And the fourth law of chaos.
Competition is
real. Okay.
Okay. What's
last one? Last one here. Let me see if I can.
The fifth law of chaos. There is a substitute for love.
Right.
Wow.
There's a substitute for love.
Sweet love.
Sweet love. You know, it's pink love. It's not real love. It's the pink love. Everything comes from that. It really does. She leads up to this, but this is the core value that all of it is. Believing that there's a substitute for love is the core that all of chaos is wrapped around it. It's trying to remove love from the equation. It's trying to get us to be not who we are. So the way this works out is that we do things like, I'm going to work hard instead of pursue a spiritual relationship with myself. I'm going to be the best. I'm going to try to really control my environment. I'm going to get a lot of initials after my name. That's me. That was me. I'm overly educated. You know, I want to know everything so I can predict what's going to happen to me. I need to be in control. Because love is unpredictable. It's reliable, but it's unpredictable. Because God, if she loves anything, loves novelty.
And diversity.
And diversity. So this idea that love is, I believe, what the science calls dark matter. It's mostly what we are. It's, in fact, they're saying as we as molecules are going in and out of this dark matter state, but we actually spend slightly more time out of existence than we do in existence.
Wow.
As far as the molecules going in and out of existence and in and out of dark matter.
I've heard that, yeah.
So love is chaos in the sense that it's the void, and it's all thing is possible. It makes all things possible. Nothing is off the table. Do you know how much God loves you? She'll let you suffer because you want to. That's how much she loves you. She's not going to come snatch you out of the sandbox and say, I have told you how to be happy. Why don't you listen to me? She's going to let you cry in the sandbox and say, I'm over here when you stop wanting to be silly, when you stop wanting to hurt yourself, when you stop wanting to find, when you think that there's another answer for the love I have to offer you. When you give up trying to pursue anything else that's going to satisfy you, what God will be there. When you're ready, when I was ready to like say, okay, fine. If I don't know anything, if I never get enlightened, if nothing ever happens, then that's just the way it was going to be. And the world dropped away for me.
Yes.
Because I could see it as one thing, and I was trying desperately to control it and to understand it. I don't have to understand it. I am it. I am what I see. I am.
Yeah.
So the substitute for love, all the things we do in order to not be in a relationship or try to control a relationship or even a relationship with God or ourselves, all the things that we find are problematic, all the ways in which we can't let things be as they are. All these are obstacles to be able to see the presence of love. Us. It's already here. There's no substitute for it. There's nothing that satisfies more than the love of God. And the love of God, and what is God? Us. Wholeness. It is what lives. It is what God is, what works. That can work. All right. So we have a song we're going to play in. But those are the 5 laws of chaos. Hopefully you remember. Okay, 1.
It's going to be the king. God is mad at me.
God is mad at, or yeah, I'm broken.
I'm broken. 3. Authority. Pick me. Pick me.
Pick me.
Pick me. Competition is real.
Competition is real.
And there's a substitute for love.
Sweet love.
Yeah. But I want to move beyond, so yes, I want to show you this video.
All right.
Satanam karta pukanire bone bear akal more rajuni sevam guru prasad jak ad such to God such heavy such nanaka hose be such ekon kar satanam karta pukanire bone bear akal more rajuni sevam guru prasad jak ad such to God such heavy such nanaka hose be such the world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Oh, there is a world I want. Oh, there is a world I want. Valueless. I escape the chains I've placed upon my mind and open the door to my true self and open the door to my true self.
Sevang Guru Prasad Jap. Ad Sach, Jagad Sach, He be Sach, Nanaka Hose be Sach.
Exactly. So thanks everybody for joining us. We're staying for Reverend Techland
Of course we
show,
are.
and we'll see you next Sunday.
All right.
Church with 2 Drink Minimum. Okay.
Yeah.